Welcome back to Financial Literacy Part 2. Today we're going to be discussing some very important vocabulary words. I'd like you to take a minute before we get started and with your highlighter or your sticky pad, go ahead and highlight the following words in the back of your book. In the glossary starting at page 86 is where it's at. The words are CFO, endorse, income, and paycheck. Go ahead and do that now. Great job. Okay. Now, a paycheck will be your sole source of income for all the citizens at J.A. Biztown. Income is the money earned for the work that you do. Now, to get a peek at what a paycheck might look like at J.A. Biztown, let's turn to page 6 in our Citizen Guide. Let's look at some of the parts of a paycheck. Notice the name at the top. That is the company, the name of the company who's writing the paycheck. So the company name is J.A. Biztown News. We also notice that the paycheck has a date on it. It has paid to the order of. Now notice that it doesn't have a name there. That is actually where your name would go. So right now, pause the video and write your name. Super. Okay, paid to the order of, and it should say your name. Now, standard practice is that you're going to receive a check with your name already printed on it. Because the CFO, the chief financial officer of your company is going to have that check already printed with your name on it. Next, let's notice this rectangular box that has the dollars and cents. And then on the next line, it's written out. And then the memo, which says payroll. The memo tells what the check is for. So this check is a paycheck, so it is part of the payroll. Then you notice the signature. The signature is usually the CEO and sometimes the CFO will sign the paycheck. Below that is the account number of J.A. Biztown News at their bank. Okay? Below that, we see the back of what your paycheck would look like. On the back of the check, you want to endorse it. An endorsement is your name written in cursive, which is called what? A signature. That's right. You want to sign it because that lets everyone know that the paycheck belongs to you. Okay, let's take a minute, pause the video, and answer the questions on your own, 1 through 4. Okay, great. I hope you're finished and you're starting the video again right here. Let's go over the answers to those questions. What type of paycheck is this? It's a paycheck, right? Which business wrote the check? J.A. Biztown News wrote the check. Number 3, where do you endorse the check? You endorse the check on the back, and an endorsement is a signature. And what is a signature, friends? It's your name written cursive. Good. Number 4, why did you sign your name on the back of the check? I hope that you wrote to prove that it was your check, or to prove it's my check, or to say that it's mine. Any of those answers will suffice. Now, success at Biztown depends on good money management skills. Money management includes things like being able to write a check and keep track of the money in an account. Each time someone does business with a bank, citizens are performing a transaction. A transaction is a fancy bank word that means agreement or exchange. So today we're going to practice some of those transactions and how they're used and how to use them. You'll be doing a lot of transactions when you're at J.A. Biztown. Okay, so your paycheck will be deposited into an account, into your bank account. To do that, you will need to fill out a deposit ticket. So I need you to look at page 7 in your Citizen's Guide once more, and you can turn to that page, but I'm going to actually ask you to look up here at my example of a direct deposit ticket. I'm going to walk you through the parts of the deposit ticket, okay? So at the top of the deposit ticket, it asks for a name. That is where your name would go because you're the one making the deposit into your account. The bank needs to know what day the deposit's being made. So you would write the date there. If you're planning on receiving cash back, you need to sign your name, which means to write your name in cursive, right? And over here in this little box, there are different options of what type of money you may be depositing. If you had cash, you would write the amount of money you're depositing that's in cash there. Now, some of you may have piggy banks, and maybe one day you want to open your own checking account, or maybe you're saving at home and you already have a checking account and you want to put all your coins in the bank. Well, this is where you would put that amount. So maybe you have 100 pennies, so you have $1, and you would put that under coins. You'd have 100 pennies, which would be $1 in coins. But we aren't going to work with cash or coins in JA BizTown. So what we're focused on are depositing checks. So Jennifer, in my example here, has a paycheck of $8.82. Notice that the decimal point is already there. So the dollars are going to be put into the space at the left, and the change is going to be put in the space at the right. The subtotal is basically whatever your total amount of checks are. There are several lines there. There's 2 more additional lines if you had additional checks to put in. But today she only has the 1 check she's depositing, so the subtotal is $8.82 brought down. She wants to take out $2 in cash. So that would be her less cash received. Now, to figure out what our total deposit, our net deposit, which is the total amount that's going into the bank, we would subtract $8.82 from $2. And our net deposit today for Jennifer is $6.82. Lastly, you'll notice the account number. The account number is your account number because it's going into your account. And you'll be assigned an account number when we go to JA BizTown. Okay, let's go ahead, pause the video, and you can practice answering questions 1 through 7. Great job. Thanks for doing that. Now, who is making the deposit? I hope that you wrote that Jennifer Smith is making the deposit. Number 2, what is the date of the deposit? April 17th, 2015 would be the correct answer. What is the amount of the check she's depositing? $8.50. How much cash did she receive? $1.50. What is Jennifer's net deposit? It would be $7. What is her account number? 234. Why did she sign her deposit ticket? Because she wanted cash back. Those would be the correct answers for that section. Now we're going to talk about keeping a record of your spending and savings, okay? So below it says, record of all charges or credits that affect your account. I'm going to bring you back over to my example that's below here. And I want you to look closely. On my example, there was no balance. Before you begin, you'll have a balance. And when you start at JA BizTown, you won't have a balance at all. So this is actually what your check register is going to look like. It's going to have a 0 balance. But Jennifer, on July 1st, she got a deposit. She made a deposit, sorry. And our deposits go under the area that says deposit, credit, or the plus sign, okay? Because this is a credit to the account. So you would write it here. We do all of our balancing over here, okay? So she deposited $6.82. So she wrote it here. That's how much she has in her account now. Nothing happened here. So she wrote the balance. Again, $6.82. She carried it down. Well, she wrote a check for $1. I'm sorry, she wrote a check, and her check number was 001 on July 1st, and she wrote it to JA BizTown Bank. Looks like she might have been just making a deposit there, or purchasing something extra, okay? So she made a purchase with the check. Looks like that was probably her savings account. So that she opened. So now, instead of putting it under credit, because it's not a credit, it's a debit, and notice the subtraction sign, it's a subtraction of her account. So she logs it here under payment or debit. And then she carries it over here as a negative sign, $1.50. So now she's going to subtract her previous balance, which was $6.82, from $1.50. Now her new balance is $5.32. She will continue doing this, so on and so forth, as she fills up this register with her purchases and deposits throughout her time at J.A. Biztown, okay? Now yours shows, at the bottom of your page, it shows the deposit of $7, and then, but it has a balance, it begins with a balance of $10. So the total balance now after that deposit is $17, and that's what you're looking at. Now, I want you to go ahead and check out the examples on page 8 and keep practicing on pages 9 through 10 on your own. You're going to do a great job, and this is something super exciting, and it's very important to know how to keep track of your spending and savings. And that will help you enjoy your time at J.A. Biztown. You won't run out of money. Hopefully at the end of J.A. Biztown you have gotten some really great stuff and you'll still have some money in your account. See ya.